Is XRP destined for a new all-time high? There's lots of speculation at the moment about XRP, whether or not we're going to see settlement with Ripple and the SEC, and whether that's going to be an explosive win for the XRP token. Guys, let's roll the intro and get right down into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video update. Today we are discussing XRP and whether or not there's potential for a very healthy bull market for this particular project and XRP, right? This is something that there's lots of speculation around on the internet about whether or not, XRP is going to be the one true asset that's going to be bridging all other assets between the traditional finance and the Web3 crypto space and all that kind of stuff. We're not really going to discuss too much of that today. I don't really subscribe to the idea that XRP, a token that's been around for such a significant period of time, is the one that's going to be used by all these kind of banking institutions around the world. The technology and the ability to use the XRPL does not rely on XRP specifically, okay? But nonetheless, there's lots of speculative investment opportunities when it comes to XRP, right? Outside of whether we want to wear tinfoil hats or not. Okay, so somewhere in the middle between the extreme and the really kind of naysayers is kind of where I sit. I sit here kind of looking at the charts, looking at the data and finding the most logical price predictions and expectations for XRP. Okay, so let's jump down into our charts and start reflecting on the price action of XRP. Now, I've been around for quite some time. We've seen XRP do some interesting things, big believer in the future of where things are heading. And there's lots of good reasons and rationale as to why banks might be looking at the XRPL and they might be looking at XRP as the asset to bridge their traditional kind of finances into the crypto space. However, I'm not going to be kind of sat here and go through all of those things and be, really kind of just looking at the positives without taking a look at any of the negatives. Okay, so instead, outside of what a lot of other influencers who are just trying to shill you something, I'm going to give you what I truly do believe, right? And where I do think things are heading outside of just that tinfoil hat kind of perspective. Now, for this move, we saw back in 2020 some interesting runs. We saw, obviously, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 dropping a lawsuit on Ripple, which saw this significant crash to the downside. Now, at that time, I was very much buy this dip. This is a huge opportunity not to be missed out on, right? This lawsuit, the timing of this lawsuit was always sus to me. And we saw coming down towards 17 cents. This was a huge buy the dip opportunity. We spoke about that a lot back in 2020 and 2021. And I took advantage of that. And I've been in XRP for a very long time. Okay, we saw a significant run to the upside, but let's be honest, it was suppressed. The entire move from our lows of March 2020 up to the highs here in April of 2021 was 1,841%, right? Significantly lower than Bitcoin, significantly lower than Ethereum, and lower than most other altcoins. There's a few exceptions, of course. I do believe there were a few other altcoins that are similar to XRP that also did not perform. Again, very similar reasons. It's pump and dumps. A lot of influencers who are just buying it to shill it to you guys so they can dump it on you, right, essentially. Nonetheless, we saw a pretty significant drop to the downside in the bear market. 85% held up quite well, not as bad as others, but it is what it is. And we dropped down and we found support at the 28.72 cents. But this is where problems start to arise because we have a lot of pump and dumps here, right? We had a run up here, resistance on the 50 EMA, back down, and I actually was able to buy this wick right here on Binance just purely by fluke. I bought a 30 cent. That's the exact low here on this particular wick. just fluke, have those buy orders in place and all that kind of stuff. We then saw very significant gains from there up here, another 200% before dropping back down. And I want to draw the attention to the overlapping nature of our candlesticks, because these overlapping movements are not good. Okay, it shows weakness within the price action. Okay, so we all want big bullish movements, but on this weekly time frame, we're not really getting the kind of setup that you would be looking for. The positives are that we're above the 200 EMA and we're above the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA, right? So we're above those moving averages. That's a positive. We need to rally from here and we need to breach the existing high if we want to see a significant run for XRP. We need to leave this diagonal overlapping structure behind, okay? And that's going to be what we're looking for. But for our bullish market moves to the upside, we are, of course, going to be looking and reflecting on a rather conservative target, one that I know you guys aren't going to like. It's going to be really low. You guys are going to hate it. But essentially, it's going to be a realistic price target based on the data that's actually in the charts, rather than what if X bank decides to use XRP? What if, you know, a central bank and the CBDCs are running on XRP and they use XRP? What if? Right, I'm not running this analysis on what ifs. I'm running it on what's in the data in the charts at the moment. Okay, and if we take a look at this, we can see that the targeted range is going to be right here. It will be a new all-time high, and it would be $5.59 to $11.26. It seems incredibly low, but it would basically allow us to see a three-wave corrective pattern up here. There will be an amount of, a significant amount of selling pressure at $5 and, you know, anywhere in this kind of range. And specifically at $10 is going to be a huge amount of selling pressure. Ultimately, there's people who have been buying a significant amount of XRP ever since 2017, 2018. They are just looking and waiting for that number to get hit so that they can cash out millions. Okay, and I think this XRP Ripple SEC lawsuit is the one that is going to be the catalyst for this move to the upside. I am very much a believer that the settlement will end, the lawsuit will end in settlement. I've said this since 2020. 2021, the SEC lawyers showed no real, I guess, acumen for actually wanting to win the case. They've shown that they've been dropping the ball time and time again. And so for me, it's always been that it's most likely going to end up as settlement. You can even watch back the very early videos that we did back in 2020, where this lawsuit was dropped in December. And I said, it's most likely going to end in settlement. The SEC can't afford to lose. Ripple are going to fight it. And they have really good defense as to why XRP was not a security, or is not a security. And obviously there's huge ramifications for this lawsuit across the entire crypto space, right? So I think settlement is coming. It's just a matter of time. No one can time it. No one's going to give you an exact date. Anyone who knows that that settlement has happened and has a date for when it's going to be announced is not going to share it. If they were to share that, they are going to risk their entire lives, everything, on selling a little bit of information. It makes very little sense. I know I'm making very little sense at this point, but ultimately, guys, I believe settlement is likely to occur. That settlement is going to see a significant surge to the upside in price action, and I think we have an upper limit between $5.60 and $11.26. Like I say, it's not what you want to hear. It's not what I want to hear. I would love a $589 XRP. I'd love a $10,000 XRP. But I'm not going to wake up one day and see that in my portfolio. I'm just not. I'm realistic about this. There's too much supply, not enough demand. And if the banks decide to use XRP, they're not likely to do it straight away. It's not going to be flicking a switch where every single bank around the world is just going to start utilizing it. Now, that's kind of, tinfoil hatness and all that kind of stuff. But let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments down below. Do you align with my conservative, nice kind of analytical approach to the price prediction for XRP? Or do you just blindly believe that XRP is going to $10,000? Let me know in the comments below. And why don't you check out this video right here, where we discuss a little bit more about what's going on in the crypto space.